couple of wonderful nights sleep, and to Chris for sort of helping get the juices flowing and getting me on the right track. So thank you. Good morning. I'm Johanna from Schumacher Solar and Electrical, and I guess I'll just jump right in. Ooh, there we go. So, do you have a roof? We'll be talking today about solar powering the green economic recovery. So who are we? We're the Schumachers. We've got Gerard, who you can see there, and myself. And I was actually born in the States. Gerard was born here in Geelong, grew up around the Melbourne and Sydney area, and we met overseas in Arizona, but moved back here 12 years ago. Both the girls, Anael and Zaria, were born here, and we love our pets. No dogs yet, but we've got cats, rats and chooks. So hard to get a good photo of everyone in lockdown. We're looking forward to catching up with Alison again when things are opened up, but here's some family selfies. So our team, Schumacher Solar and Electrical. We've got Philip on the left there, who's a second-year apprentice. We've got Gerard, who is the head electrician and solar specialist. He's been in the industry now for over 10 years. Myself, doing office administration and marketing. And Anthony is a second-year apprentice. Both Anthony and Philip began their apprenticeships with us, so they've been with us, trained up from day dot. And we've also brought back Kane, who was with us during his apprenticeship and has now come back on as an A grade. So what sets us apart from everyone else? Solar is a really big market out there, flooded with lots of, lots of different companies. So what makes us different? Well, Schumacher Solar and Electrical, the company itself, is a Clean Energy Council approved solar retailer. Gerard himself is also, as the A-grade electrician, he is a registered electrical contractor, and he is a Clean Energy Council accredited installer. What that means is that we can provide end-to-end service. Most big solar sales companies are simply retailers. So they just have that approved solar retailer status, meaning that they can sell systems, but they don't actually have an electrician on staff. So that means that maybe the system isn't being designed by an actual electrician who's been out on the roof. It might just be designed by a salesperson who may or may not have experience. I have met a few, some are experienced and actually go out on the work site, but you do have to be careful. And then you never know which electrician you'll be getting on the day. So with us, you don't have that problem. We're there from the beginning to the end. And we also provide other electrical services. So we don't just do solar, we do other electrical as well. And as I mentioned in my 45 seconds before, we won't be able to do occupied domestic solar for the next month. So if you have any other emergency electrical work, definitely throw it our way, or any vacant buildings, so small scale commercial or domestic builds that are in progress. So what about the rebates? This is a question we get all the time because there are several schemes out and about. So love him or hate him, Dan Andrews has brought in a state subsidy, and that is currently worth $1,850 cash off your price of your solar system for 4 kilowatt or greater solar system. This will be incrementally reduced over time. It started out at $2,225 last year and has been gradually reduced. In addition, there's an same amount, so $1,850 fee-free, interest-free loan available directly through Solar Victoria. The eligibility is a combined annual income of less than 180,000, property value at less than 3 million, that's based off your council rates, and being owner occupied. And it's also, there's a scheme similar scheme available for landlords and tenants where they share the cost. And then there's a battery rebate of $4,174 for eligible systems over 5 kilowatts. So what that means, Solar Victoria is still approving those applications. So what we can do is we can do a long distance, a virtual inspection, very much similar to MAL and many of the others. We can sort of do an inspection and a quote and get it pushed through the Solar Victoria approval system, pending any maybe, you know, minor details that would need to be changed upon site inspection in October or November, whenever that is. So that's one thing. There's also the solar feed-in tariff. So just quickly to explain this graph before I move on, this on the top left is your solar panel generation. In the middle is your inverter, and that is what basically, you know, helps convert that energy either to go to your house where the top right globe is for your consumption, or down to the bottom left back to the grid if there's excess production. And then if you had a battery storage, it would go down to the bottom right. So the energy that is generated off your solar panels is free for direct self-consumption. The excess is exported to the grid, usually at about 11 cents a kilowatt hour, and that is a credit to your electricity bill. Unfortunately, you still have to pay a higher rate to purchase power back at night. So, you know, that's where batteries come in as a very good option, storing that excess energy during the day, and then it's there ready for you to use at night. And the return on investment is about 2 to 4 years for your average system. But given that the lifespan of a system is 20 plus years, you're definitely looking at a positive investment. So how we can help. This is Pranjal's roof. This is a system that we replaced for him. So this is the new system. Initially, 4.5 years ago, he had purchased a system where he had a 10-year warranty, or so he thought. Unfortunately, the system failed, and by that time, the solar retailer had declared bankruptcy, and the panel manufacturer had disappeared as well. He had some no-name panels and was not able to chase anyone up or get any help. So he rang us, and we were able to replace his system with a high-quality name brand panels that have Australian offices for customer support, 12-year warranties, and he was able to get a bigger and better quality system for less money with all the rebates that I've just mentioned and subsidies than it would have cost to fix his original failed system. And he was very happy with that. And of course, we're very invested and we're not going anywhere. So we're able to offer ongoing customer care and support for the life of his system. So there's a third sort of scheme, if you will, which is where people get confused, because there's, you know, the state rebate, there's your feed-in tariff, and then there's the small scale technology certificates, or STCs. They're a federal subsidy and they offer a point of sale customer discount. You can think of it sort of like a carbon trading scheme, basically. So the clean energy regulator assigns a dollar value to the future generation of your solar system. And these certificates are then on-sold to offset other businesses' pollution. So basically, they're counting on your system producing clean energy for a certain amount of time, and they're crediting you with that. And that's how we can all contribute to the green economic recovery. I did not make this up. This is a real thing. So it's been said a renewables-led economic recovery will create almost 3 times as many jobs as a fossil fuel-led recovery, according to a recent report. Here's the article that was addressing that. So there's a few things worth mentioning. You know, a few ideas that they had: making all buses electric. The cost will be 240 million, but it's at 10,000 job generation. And also I really like subsidizing solar for community organizations, because I also volunteer at a university of the third age teaching Spanish to retired people, and I think that that's a really awesome idea. So And it's happening all over, all across Australia and New Zealand. We've got Coles committing to having 90% of its electricity requirements coming from green energy. We've got Jacinda Ardern pledging to 100% renewable energy in New Zealand by 2030. We've got 2/3 of people polled who would prefer green energy than and renewable energy as options over fossil fuels. And this cute little town of Denmark in Western Australia that's doing amazing things with their wind farm.
1 minute.
Thank you. And around the world, we've got even Pepsi targeting for 100% renewable energy in 2040. We've got homes in Sweden being transformed into power stations. And worth noting, 54% of Sweden's power already comes from renewables, which is amazing. We've got Croatia's new solar roof project that not only could create 8,000 jobs, but support the green economic recovery from COVID. And even Walmart says it will eliminate emissions from global operations by 2040. So even the big companies are getting on board. But solar is only one piece of the puzzle. We've got recycling in Scotland. We've got a ban on fossil fuel vehicles by 2030 in the UK. We've got GE saying they will stop building coal-fired plants. And this is my favorite, Copenhagen is set to be the world's first carbon neutral smart city by 2025, which is amazing. There's many pieces in the puzzle, as I mentioned, and this lovely graphic was done by my daughter, Anael, who also helped with all the amazing fancy schmancy transitions that you've seen in this presentation. And so a good referral for us is really anyone with a roof, as I've said, whether that's a small business or a domestic house. And this is also part of my quote, Paul, so I'll just finish on this. A solar-powered green economic recovery. Renewables could power most of Australia by 2040. So in 15 years, 90% of the demand in Australia could be met by renewable energy, which I think is just amazing. And as far as how that ties into recovering from coronavirus, renewables are the cheapest cost of new generation. We have an aging energy generation fleet that has to change. We also have commitments to decarbonise the country over time. When you put the two together, there should be no other economic solution than renewables. It's a no-brainer. Thank you.
Excellent. If you can, that was a fantastic presentation. Really, really good. Thank you for that.
Thank you.